Okay, even though it's not remotely relevant to your skills, to your education, or even to your personal qualities, the very first thing you should do when you're setting up a LinkedIn profile is choose the right photo. Okay? That's because it's the first thing people see when they visit your profile, and they'll use it to start forming an opinion about you straight away. That might not seem fair, okay, but unfortunately it's the way people are. One little bit of consolation if you don't like having your photo taken, it's not particularly about how sort of good looking or attractive you are. Rather, it's about the type of photo. So my LinkedIn profile does perfectly well with this photo. I'm a very funny looking sort of guy, but because I've picked a reasonable kind of photo, it doesn't do me any harm. So invest a little bit of time and effort in choosing the right snap to go up there. And certainly don't just use the same profile photo that you use for Facebook or Twitter or whatever, unless it happens to be a very good one. Okay, it really is worth investing just a bit of time and effort. So for the rest of this video, I want to spend a little bit of time thinking about what makes a good LinkedIn profile photo. Okay, remember what I said in the previous video, LinkedIn is a professional network, but professional doesn't have to mean boring. Okay, it's not a good idea to use a really zany photo. Yeah, so all those shots of you drinking beer from a bucket or dressed as a rubber duck to run the London Marathon or whatever, keep those on Facebook. But at the other extreme, things like passport photos and formal graduation photos are probably just a bit too conservative, okay? They don't give visitors much clue about what you're really like, yeah? And that's what a good LinkedIn photo will do. It will give people a sense, or begin to give them a sense, of the person behind the profile. And that's something that a CV can never do. Okay, so the trick is to keep it safe but keep it human. And you've basically got two choices. The first choice, and this is kind of my favourite, is something like I've done here, which is a shot of you doing something. Now that doesn't mean standing around at a party with a drink in your hand. It actually means doing something like giving a presentation or running around a netball pitch or playing the violin or whatever you enjoy or whatever you're proud of, okay? So something that shows you doing something that you like. Here, I'm not, it doesn't have to be anything particularly dramatic. This is me walking the dog on the beach at Red Wharf Bay on the island of Anglesey, okay? So it's not particularly dramatic, but it shows me as I really am, if you like, okay? Your second option is to go for something that's a bit more kind of face to camera, yeah? These are easy, but make sure you're decently dressed, you don't have to wear a suit, and you look respectable. Here's a good example. This is James Slater, who is another guy from the Bangor 2020 group, like me. And that's an absolutely lovely shot of James there. I mean, it really helps that he's kind of naturally smiley, happy-looking guy, but that is a perfectly good shot for a head and shoulders shot, okay? The most important thing in a photo like this is that you smile and look confident, okay? And what James has done here is get someone to take it for him. Selfies and webcam photos are a big no-no on LinkedIn. They just look unprofessional, okay? That said, there's no need to get a strictly professional photo taken. I think this one might have been, but at your level it's kind of probably unnecessary, and it can look a bit pretentious if you're starting your career. Here's a great one. Let me close that. James Intrillagator, our very own, if you're a Bangor person, our very own Professor James Intrillagator, the Professor of Innovation and Consumer Psych at Bangor. Great photo of James, head and shoulders, he's smiling, and he's out and doing something. Here's a good one. This, I think, is a professional photo. Kate Pickering, who is a Bangor girl from a reasonable while back. She was an English graduate with me back in the day. And again, nice and smiley, nice and friendly. Okay, it's a bit warmer than a passport photo, quite a lot warmer than a passport photo in fact, but it's not quite as chilled out as a Facebook profile photo, okay? And Kate's profile is good because her photo works really nicely with her summary here. We're going to talk about summaries in the next video, but you see the photo and then you see this lovely one-line paragraph at the start of her summary. I'm a creative manager with 17 years experience in innovation, business and media. Bang. So as soon as someone's gone to Kate's profile, they can see what she's about, what kind of person she is straight away. Okay. So in general, the trick is to choose a photo that makes you look human, even if you're funny looking, kind of like me, but also look respectable. So avoid the photo your mates would like if you put it on Facebook. A really good test is, would my mum like this, or would my granny like this, or would great aunt Jane or whatever like this. If the answer is yes, and it's not a graduation photo or a school photo, you're probably onto a winner. Do try to choose one that, as I've said, offers a good view of your face. Okay. If you're choosing a photo in which you're not smiling, do have a very good reason for not doing so. A smile doesn't have to be a great big gurning grin. I'm smiling here, yeah, and it does the job. But if you are choosing a photo that doesn't have that smile, as I say, have a good reason. Make sure it's, maybe it's a photo of you delivering a lecture or something. Otherwise, always choose one in which you're smiling and which you look approachable, confident, and friendly.